Today, I'm showing you guys the best creative maps you can use to improve your mechanics in Fortnite. These videos tend to do well, so I'm assuming you guys like them, so I'm going to continue to make them. I first featured some general maps to improve, then I featured some maps that you can improve your aim on, and in this video, I'm going to feature a lot of recent new maps that have came out that you probably haven't even seen yet. So if you do find yourself enjoying this video or it helps you, please don't forget to drop that like on the video. It helps me out a ton and it's completely free to you. And going along with that, if you enjoyed the video, then subscribe. Alright, now let's get into the first map. The first map that's really good for improving your mechanics is Raider's Peace Control Map V3. This is a practice map made by Raider464, who is not only a really good map maker, but also just an insane Fortnite player overall, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to these maps. He made a V1, it was super good. He made a V2, it was even better, and now we're back for the V3. And of course, this is the best out of all of them. The biggest pro to using this map is that it actually targets all of your mechanics. You are actively working on your movement, on your building, on your editing, and on your aiming all at the same time. So this go around for the V3 version of this map, Raider has came in and put in so many drills. Between all the different drills, there's a total of 29 different scenarios that you can practice. Over on the left wall, there's 8 different basic peace control drills. These are gonna be some of the basic fundamental peace control routes. And I actually really like that he included this because it makes the map suitable for players of any skill level. If you're a beginner and you don't really get quality practice out of doing some of the more advanced peace control routes, then you can just be over on the basic peace control routes, get those down, and then move on to the more advanced stuff. As for the more advanced routes, there's actually 15 total of them. In these routes, even though they're a little more advanced, they're still really useful, and they're actually realistic peace control routes that you do in a real game. Some of these maps just throw stairs and walls in random places and call it a peace control course, when in reality, you'll never use that sequence of peace control. So every single one of these 15 routes is actually really useful, and each of these situations will come up pretty often in an actual real game. And then over on the right side, we have 6 other peace control tunnels, something a little extra, a little different. Pretty cool that he included this section. So when you first spawn in, you have this entire array of weapons, all the weapons that are currently in the game. And then just like his previous 2 versions of this map is completely optimized to not waste any time. From the moment you spawn in, you can shoot any one of the colored cubes and you'll teleport straight to that drill. You can then shoot the number above the drill to give you a detailed description of what you should be doing and focusing on in the drill. And then in this version of the map, he actually included a small model of the actual course that you'll go into, which I think is a super cool, unique touch. Then each one of these courses is actually infinite. If you wanted to, you could literally spend hours and hours doing the same course and you would never come to an end. So in each drill, you can either shoot a cube to return back to the main part of the map, or at any point throughout the entire map, you can just emote and it'll send you right back to the hub where all the drills are. So this map is definitely super solid. I definitely recommend it. Whether you're just using it to grind your mechanics or even just to warm up, it's a great map for either. I've been without a graphics card for like a week and a half, so my mechanics are rusty. I'm planning on playing this map soon for a video for an entire 24 hours. Now let's move on to the second map. The second map is one I've featured in a couple videos previously, and that's Panduels free-for-all headshot only map. I've gave this map a lot of praise in the past, but it's so good for practicing your shotgun aim. If you struggle to hit high damage shotgun shots, then you just need to grind this map. I think the thing that makes practice in this map so effective is that you're practicing against real players. So instead of just shooting bots or shooting static targets, you're actually fighting against real players with real player movement. And then on top of that, it's actually pretty challenging. You literally have to hit a max damage pump shot to even get an elim in this mode. So even if you hit a pretty good shot, it literally doesn't matter. The difference between a pretty good shot and a complete whiff is nothing. It's either 200 pump or nothing. And because of the challenging factor and because you're playing against actual players and there's a scoreboard, it makes it pretty fun. Practicing your mechanics can get pretty stale pretty quickly, especially if you're just doing routes or practicing on static targets. You can only stand to do it for so long before you just get super bored of it. So actually competing and playing against real players just makes it more fun and grind the map for even longer and practice your aim for even longer. Third map is a map made by Teadoh. He's a super popular map creator, and this is Teadoh's warm-up course. And honestly, my favorite part about this map is kind of funny because it has nothing to do with the actual functionality of the map, but I really like the map's aesthetic. It's completely different from most peace control courses. places that are more closed in. Practice maps are typically pretty simple, straight to the point. They almost look like a factory sort of environment, just dull tunnels. But using this warm-up map is kind of refreshing. The time of day is set, it's sunny out, he put flowers and plants everywhere. And it might sound kind of funny, but I honestly think that can help with a mindset thing. Like, I don't know, there's just gotta be a connection between good quality practice and like the bright colors and the nice looking stuff versus going and just grinding your mechanics for hours in a dull tunnel. Like, I feel like there's gotta be something there, and Teadoh nailed it with this map, not to mention that this map is actually really useful. When you spawn in, you can go grab whatever weapons you want, and then you have this entire selection board, and you can actually shoot whatever ones you don't want to practice, which I think this sort of customization in a warm-up map is actually insane. It literally customizes your course based on what you want to warm up. So if there's some sections that you feel like you're already warmed up on, or you just don't feel like warming up, you can literally just shoot them and it'll completely take them out of the warm-up course. Say you don't want to practice weapon swap, or you don't want to practice combat, you just shoot those two modes and it'll completely customize the warm-up course. You go in and you don't get any sections that focus on those two things. Then the warm-up course is a really good length. It doesn't take a super long time to complete, so it doesn't get super boring and stale. And it also takes the categories that you wanted to practice and it divides it into sections. So first you do a general warm-up, and then you go in and say do an edit course, and each section focuses warming up on whatever categories you had selected. So I think it's super cool that this map is completely customizable to whatever you want to practice or warm up, and I would definitely consider adding it to your arsenal of maps to practice on. Now the fourth map featured in this video is another one made by Teadoh, but this time it's his aim practice map. Once again, it's a Teadoh map, so it's really aesthetically pleasing. There's the nice colors, it's just a nice overall feeling that you get from it. Once again, it's not like you're practicing in a dull cube. Instead, you're out in the open. There's different flowers and different items. It's bright. And once again, this map is super useful. It includes a lot of really useful aim trainers, and it makes them really simple. You shoot whatever aim trainer you want to go to, and then you shoot if you want to free play it or if you want a time version. And the cool thing about this map is that for us controller players, there's no targets on this map. So the targets are always either bots or zombies, which means for us controller players, our aim assist will always work, and we can get actual realistic practice with aim assist. Now at this point, there's quite a few aim trainers out there, but Teadoh actually came up with a really unique feature for this map, and it's this prestige system. The whole point of the prestige system is to motivate you to kind of continue to grind this map, and by continuing to grind this map, you're obviously continuing to grind your aim and practice that. So it differs from other maps because in other maps, you just sit there and you practice the same course over and over. It gets stale, it gets boring. But in this map, there's 4 different categories for the aim drills, and once you score 4 points in each of the sections, you can actually shoot the prestige and it'll prestige you up. And then over on the wall, it tells you what prestige you are. I think there's like 6 or 8 total of them. It goes all the way from like noob to aim pro or aim god, which obviously doesn't really hold any true value, but it's kind of just a thing with like bragging rights, and it's a cool system to utilize to make you continue to want to practice and have something to push you to motivate you to continue to grind the map. So there you go. Those are the current best maps that you can use to improve your mechanics in Fortnite. I hope this video helped you, or I hope you were entertained, and I hope to see you guys in a future video.